Witness this. On a bustling set at Quixote Studios in West Hollywood, just days before Oscars Sunday in March, cans of gasoline are strewn about. What looks like a real missile lies on the floor. Scrap metal is everywhere, including a wrecking ball and throwing spears. Shades of red and orange light up a giant backdrop so bright you can almost feel the heat coming off of it, and the mechanical whirring of power tools reverberates in the distance. This isn't the set of Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, though you'd be forgiven for thinking it could be. After all, stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth are here, and so is Furiosa's car, Cranky Black, which is fittingly billowing angry smoke. But some things are off. For starters, Hemsworth, 40, wants clarification on a shot because he admittedly knows nothing about the inner workings of cars. Not ideal for anyone looking to survive the high-octane wasteland of the apocalyptic Mad Max universe. Then there's the fact that in between takes, Taylor-Joy, 28, and her co-star joke around with goofy poses for the camera, a far cry, as Hemsworth points out, from the definitely antagonistic relationship between their characters, Furiosa and Dementis. As he puts it, "She's trying to kill me this whole movie." Indeed, Furiosa, an epic, Odyssey-esque prequel to franchise co-mastermind George Miller's Oscar-winning hit Mad Max, Fury Road, follows the titular character over the roughly 2 decades before she becomes the Imperator, a position Miller likens to the CEO of her clan. Her journey begins when the warlord Dementis men violently pluck her from her serene and bountiful home in the green place of many mothers. She becomes his prized possession, though not before witnessing Dementis commit a heinous act that makes him Furiosa's mortal enemy, and he soon takes her to Immortan Joe's citadel. There, young Furiosa, played by Alala Brown and then Taylor-Joy, plots her revenge and way back home, all while Dementis and Immortan Joe, played by the late Hugh Keays-Byrne in Fury Road and Latchy Hume here, battle over control of the citadel. Before Miller even sat down to make 2015's Fury Road, the 79-year-old, who co-created the long-running Australian film franchise with Byron Kennedy that also includes Mad Max, 1979, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, 1981, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, 1985, plotted out Furiosa's entire backstory, among other characters, as a reference for that film's cast and crew. But now, he tells Entertainment Weekly that this prequel is a lot more improved from those earlier outlines. When asked how, Miller pauses thoughtfully before settling on Dementis and Furiosa's relationship, which he says became more palpable while shooting the film, no doubt a result of the casting of his leads. Hemsworth and Taylor-Joy may not be immediately obvious choices for their respective parts, he of Marvel Cinematic Universe's Thor fame, and she of indie, art house, and period film notoriety, but that wasn't a concern for Miller. "It is purely an intuitive decision," he says of his casting process, speaking to EW in the massive Nobu suite at Caesars Palace looking out over the Las Vegas Strip just before taking the stage at CinemaCon in April. "You've got to say to yourself, okay, there's something about this actor and who they are intrinsically as a person. Can the Venn diagram overlap with the character to some degree? How much will it overlap, and what can they bring?" As the film's main villain, Dementis is loud, brazen, darkly humorous, and completely morally bankrupt. Like everyone else in the Mad Max universe, he is a product of the wasteland he calls home. Miller went into making Furiosa without anyone in mind for the role, but was struck by Hemsworth after meeting with him. He had a lot of wisdom about everything, about himself, about the world, about even a story like this, where it's a world in extremis, and about how people would cope with all the moral injuries that happen in this world, Miller says. As for his leading lady, Taylor-Joy first caught Miller's eye in Edgar Wright's 2021 film Last Night in Soho. He again references that Venn diagram overlap, noting the Miami-born, London, and Buenos Aires-raised actress is the youngest of 6 siblings, has the discipline of being a ballet dancer, is a rider of motorbikes, and someone who left home really young to go off into the adventure land of acting. "Have you met Anya?" Miller asks before excitedly putting into words what anyone who has seen her work has undoubtedly felt. There's definitely a mystique to her, but also, there's someone very, very resolute in her. You sense it almost immediately. And I think that's up there on the screen. It's safe to say anyone at the March cover shoot would agree. The Queen's Gambit SAG winner and Emmy nominee was aware of the Mad Max Cineverse, But it wasn't until she saw Fury Road that she had her full-throttle introduction. I was shooting the 2016 sci-fi thriller Morgan in Belfast, and I want to see it with the cast. I remember finishing the movie and standing up and clapping. It blew my mind so much, Taylor-Joy recalls. In what she considers a nice little bit of kismet, she was walking by that same Belfast cinema while filming 2022's The Northman when she got the call cementing her role as Furiosa, taking the wheel. Dementis is a new character in the Mad Max films, but Furiosa, of course, is not. The role was originated in Fury Road by Charlize Theron, but, out of a mutual respect for the character-building process, Taylor-Joy did not speak with her predecessor until after filming. You have to go on your own journey with it, Taylor-Joy explains. But as soon as it was done, I reached out to her because I'm such a fan, not only of her as an actress but her as a person. And she's as wonderful and cool as you could possibly hope, and really supportive and classy, so I appreciated it. Furiosa, Miller says, chronologically, butts up directly into Fury Road. And for this reason, Taylor-Joy did find it helpful to obsessively rewatch the first 10 minutes of that film to get a feel for the filmmaking. The actress felt a responsibility to tell the story of the person in this script. Though, in something of a Mad Max tradition, that person and that script aren't exactly verbose. Gibson famously only had 16 lines of dialogue in The Road Warrior, so she's in good company. As such, Taylor-Joy says Miller had a very set idea about how Furiosa uses body language to communicate, right down to the way she holds her face. It ended up being something that only gave me, for a large portion of the movie, my eyes to telegraph the story, she says, admitting that aspect was quite frightening. Crossing the finish line. A Mad Max movie isn't complete without a fast and furious stunt-heavy sequence, and Furiosa has a truly gobsmacking one that involves the Fury Road, featuring Furiosa, Praetorian Jack, and his rig. To say much more would spoil the shiny, chrome fun of the lengthy set piece, which needs to be seen to be believed, even, apparently, for the actors who took part in the filming of it. There is so much going on in every inch of every frame that Burke says, you just want to stop and take it all in all the time. I will do this forever, he adds of the experience. This is heaven. Taylor-Joy agrees. I wanted something that was going to challenge my body and soul, and it was definitely that, she says, joking that her war rig workout is coming soon. I think I was surprised. What I thought would be difficult was really easy, and what I thought would be easy was actually very difficult. Regarding the stunts and the filming experience as a whole, she says she's really proud of the dedication and genuine care that has gone into it. And I have a soft spot in my heart for Australia forever now. That was really an incredible place where I got to learn so much about myself and meet some really wonderful people. Hemsworth, too, says the project was worth spinning his wheels over. I've heard people talk about how you want to choose the roles that scare you. And yeah, it's sort of an actor-y thing to say, but I think it was a good thing. I think it forces you to dig that bit deeper. And the challenges, the adversity, that's where the growth occurs. I feel like I learned more on this film than anything I'd ever done because of what was asked of all of us and how challenging it was, in a wonderful way. Making the first Mad Max movie was actually so challenging that Miller almost walked away from filmmaking. Really, I found the process way too hard until someone told me, but it's always hard, he admits with a laugh.